Yo YouTube, what's going on? AJ here, back at it again with another video. And in today's video we're going to be going over, is Jiyan still worth it? We're going to be going over an updated pros and cons with him. We do it in bullet point format, that way you guys see it, these little texts real quick, and then we elaborate deeper on each point, every pro, every con, to let you guys decide, do you want Jiyan, do you not want Jiyan? But first and foremost, if you like the content on the channel, make sure you hit a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for the support. We're trying to be the top Wuthering Waves creator in this space. Thank y'all. I love y'all so much. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Oh, and the quick disclaimer, guys. Sorry about it. It's been 5 days. I know I haven't uploaded anything, in case y'all been wondering. A lot of stuff happening behind the scenes, trying to get the pod going, trying to get more people on, have some good people on there that you guys are excited about, have some people you guys want on there as well. So just stay tuned, guys. We almost got everything set up for that. But now let's get into the video. So let's start off with Jiyan's rerun. So we know Jiyan's rerun is coming around in 8 days, and he is the first limited 5-star unit. We're gonna go over his pros and cons like we said earlier, but I will say most of the time when the first limited 5-star unit characters come out in gacha games, especially anything that's related to like the Hoyo style model, and the reason why I'm saying Hoyo style model is because Kuro, even though this is Wuthering Waves and they've added their own mix, which we do enjoy, guys, it still is following sort of the Hoyo style model with Genshin, how it was. But with Jiyan, let's start talking about his pros and cons, and this leads into his first pro, which is still a very good DPS, guys. That's right. So Jiyan, before even Shorekeeper's release, and we'll talk about that later, but I'll bring Shorekeeper up into the conversation. Jiyan was still very strong. Like, if you had a fully built and well-built Jiyan invested in, ults would come up really quick. You'd do a lot of damage, you know what I mean? His he's definitely one of those characters that at this moment right now doesn't seem to get power crept, just because, guys, ease of use is a very, like, it's a thing that we need to talk about more when it comes to characters, because sometimes a character pulling off their combos and stuff like that and being technical with them can be a little bit tougher than X characters. So for instance, like Chang Li is a little bit more difficult to play than Jiyan. Calcharo is much more difficult to play than Jiyan. You have to practice a lot with those characters. You can still do good things, but it's not as hard. Like Jiyan, you can just simply ult and then spam that basic attack, throw a skill in there, auto parry, which leads us to our second pro. Amazing AoE and CC plus easy to use. And he still, guys, offers one thing that about nobody in the game really has. There are people who have variations of it, like Yang, you know what I mean? She's got the tornado, she's got a little bit of CC there. Jiyan, she's got CC there. Any other character that has some form of light CC, they definitely are in the game, but it's not as crazy as Jiyan's. Like, Jiyan is not only doing the AoE damage, guys, he also does amazing single target damage, which is pretty impressive. You would think that if you were an AoE character, that's what you specialize in, not single target. But no, he definitely hits pretty hard for a guy just fighting one-on-one. Plus the CC, the added benefit is you can get people, you can group them up, you can CC them, and it's potentially going to be amazing in the future if we get another like hard CC character. Like, could you imagine if that character and Jiyan synergize in some way? Then the amount of CC you could do to wide range of enemies that are in the tower, right, would be insane. Probably be fast clears and take away that annoyance of like certain enemies trying to run away and hit you from range. I'm talking about the red guys, if you guys have ever experienced that with the rockets and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely still, for what he is offering and for what the kit is, he's still phenomenal in that. The third thing is, and this is actually kind of two things right here, so we'll start off with this part and then the maybe new future support. So very F2P. So one of the things about Jiyan, if you guys are still like interested in getting him and you guys haven't got him, is you probably have Mortefi already. Mortefi currently in the game is his best, like, you know what I mean, support. Like, Shorekeeper is universal to everybody and she boosts him as well, you know what I mean? If you don't even have Shorekeeper, right, Verena still works, but Mortefi right now is a 4-star. He's been on multiple banners. You guys have probably pulled a copy or two, maybe off the single too. So the fact that you guys have multiple resonance chains with Jiyan, right, you guys can slap those two on a team, then add in that Verena or Shorekeeper. Boom, you're good to go. The man hits hard. The man is fun to use. Very simple to use too, so which is very enjoyable, and it's just an easy time. It's great for players who want a solid DPS that don't want like the max like peak team. Like it's not like Jinxi's team where you got Jinxi, Jay-Z, and whoever your third is, you know what I mean, which is probably going to be Shorekeeper at this point to hit even crazier numbers. Now the second part of the pros is maybe new future support, and I know some people may be confused about that, and so allow me to elaborate. In Wuthering Waves or in any of these big gacha games, guys, when there is technically a 4 probably like star character, normally these gacha games and stuff like that, they're like, hey, do you like this playstyle? Do you like this character? Well, eventually here is the 5-star version of that, much better. So they take whatever that 4-star has and then they add something more to it. That's normally how these gacha games work, guys. They entice you to get the upgrade, excuse me for that, guys, but they basically just want you to get the upgrade. You're like, damn, well, I already got this character, but this character does X, Y, and plus he's getting Z, you know what I mean? So it's definitely one of those things where I think Gian is still not done getting stronger. Shorekeeper kind of made everybody stronger, and you guys will see that in the final tier list that I release. I'm still working on that, guys, where I want to rank characters and stuff like that. But Shorekeeper did change a lot, in my opinion, after her release. But with Jiyan, it's like having Shorekeeper now as that like new support unit was already a boost to him. You know what I mean? Mortefi is always strong, but it's almost like hard to think they're not going to release some sort of character for Jiyan. It could be an arrow sub DPS is the crazy thing, guys. Like we could eventually see an arrow sub DPS that maybe like does crazy amounts of CC, crazy amounts of damage. Maybe it's heavy attack, but I think heavy attack is too specific towards Jiyan. So it may be something more universal where Jiyan can take advantage of the buff, but definitely he could get like the arrow buff and this character could potentially do CC. Who knows? I'm just taking guesses at this point, guys. But I do think that eventually there will be another character with heavy attack or with arrow damage, because that Kuro will release eventually. Like it's almost guaranteed that eventually we will see an arrow sub DPS. Now let's go to the cons section. Banner placement. Yeah, this one is the biggest one, I think, out of all of it, because if you are sitting at home right now, you're probably thinking to yourself, banner placement, well, why? I just got my Shorekeeper, Jiyan's here. Well, if you have a lot of Astrite and you're saving up and you got your Shorekeeper, then you all know Camellya's around the corner. Like, it's still a little bit away, like 20 something days, I would say, maybe like 30. I don't think it's 30, but I definitely do think it's like about like 28, 25-ish days. So Camellya releases. But with that being said, yeah, man, if you guys use your Astrite on here, and let's say you still have some left over to get to that like 80 pull mark, you still are now playing a 50-50 for Camellya if you really want to guarantee her. And she is a new unit that is coming out, and so I don't think anybody really wants to be disappointed in not playing with the new unit, unless you just really don't care about Camellya and you just like Jiyan more and you were already going to skip Camellya. Then the first con does not apply to you. But I would say the player base just needs to, you know what, just be careful if they are going to go in on Jiyan. The second thing I would talk about is too many DPSs, and that is kind of like the main issue that is I could only knock on Jiyan right now, because it doesn't really seem like there's power creep to him. It does, like, for what he does, guys, and everything I mentioned over here, he still is one of one in what he does. Like, as far as, aside from the still very good DPS, because he's still like top 3 in the game, top 4 ish. Like, I gotta relook at the list again. I would say that the amount of DPSs that you have as a player right now in your just account, and you have access to, you have a free Zhang Liao, who's a monster, who's easy to play, right? I think a lot of you guys pull for Jinxi or Chang Li or something like that, and you got that, right? Even if you don't, you still can use Danjin, the 4-star. Like, there's so many options right now in Wuthering Waves that you could justify just skipping Jiyan because of too many DPSs. And yeah, I mean, we're always going to get DPSs in Wuwa, guys, and that's the issue. But it's really up to Kuro at this point. None of us know if are we going to get a DPS that does AoE CC, not just AoE, AoE CC, and I don't know if we are. I don't know what the time frame would be if they release another character like that, but right now Jiyan's 101. But yeah, definitely there are too many DPSs you can justify. All in all though, if I was to rate Jiyan as a character out of 10, where would I rate him right now? He's definitely still a 9.5 out of 10. Just because for what he offers, the pros kind of outweigh the cons, guys. Realistically, the real con is too many DPSs. Again, if it was a different character, or maybe it's a character people weren't excited for the banner placement, like Camellya and, like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine if, I think, Jay-Z or a different character that wasn't as hyped. I think a lot more people would be more interested in Jiyan. I still love Jeja. I just call her Jay-Z if you guys don't know and you're new here. But all in all, I still think Jiyan is worth the pull. Still think is a great time. Very easy to use versus boss fights. Amazing CC, all the good stuff. But that's it for this video. All in all, let me know in the comment section, do you guys agree with my take? Do you guys disagree with my take? What else can you add on? Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's been your boy AJ. We're back. I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.